Matt Hardy. Thank you for watching the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling Podcast.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling Podcast. I'm Ant, and today I'm going to do my live review of Raw that's just finished. Positive about the show, actually. I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it a bit more than SummerSlam, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to give all my thoughts on everything that happened. There's a couple of missteps along the way, and I think a lot of us know what they are. Keithley's music change seems a bit pointless. But if you've not followed us before, I know we had a couple of new people in the live stream, which was awesome. It was awesome having all you guys to chat to, and it really makes the product more entertaining for me, so thank you very much for that. If you haven't joined us before, what we tend to do is do the review first, and then I'll get to all your comments and questions afterwards. But our lass is getting up for work in half an hour, so I'm going to try and speed through it, because she won't want me filming while she's getting ready for work. Rock and roll. So the show opened up with Drew McIntyre introducing us to the Thunderdome of Monday Night Raw, which was a really good promo. I mean, Drew cuts a decent promo. One of the interesting things that he's doing is trying to get the fans to do some sort of thumbs up thing. I think that's actually a gimmick that could work, not necessarily for him. If he wants to have it, I think he needs to stick with the countdown thing and get all the fans to sort of do it into the camera. I think that'd be quite interesting. But we need a little bit more like that, you know. We need a few signs and stuff like that, and people saying how to feel or something like that, you know. I don't know how WWE control it, and you know that you'd get a couple of rude signs, but guess what? You get them at WWE anyway, so, you know, get over it. That's part of being a live audience. Again, pipe noise I'm not really liking. I wish they'd do something where they'd give a rating button for the audience to have, whether it's 1 to 9 or what have you, and they go 9 when they really want to cheer loudly, so we can have more of a dynamic sounding crowd. Anyway, as Drew McIntyre went up to the top of the ramp, Randy Orton attacked him, went backstage into gorilla position, which wasn't red today, obviously, because it's not the Fiend's gorilla position anymore, and delivered 2 punk kicks to Drew McIntyre on the floor. Drew McIntyre was out, didn't sell them much, but sold them a little bit more than Shawn Michaels did. So that set up the opening of the show, which I thought was an okay opening. I mean, it's sort of whatever it is. He blindsided him, and that made sense. I assumed they were setting up for Payback. I was wrong. I was really wrong. Next up, they're obviously hyping Keithley. The Nia Jax thing backstage. What the devil was going on there? I mean, I'm half listening to it and half listening to the live stream, but I lost what was going on. They're either fighting or not fighting. Anyway, that played into the next match, which was Bayley versus Shayna Baszler. A decent match again. 2 decent workers in the ring. Nia Jax is stood at the top of the ramp. Sasha's on the side of the ring, obviously. Nia interferes in the match by beating up Shayna Baszler on the outside. To go into the ring, she carries on beating her down. I'm like, okay, cool, so they're not friends. And then without any reason whatsoever, she's suddenly friends again. They're friends again. They're going to have a tag match this Sunday at Payback. And then they're pointing at Sasha and Bayley. And there was a beat that was missing here in the storyline, big time. The beat was that what should have happened is, if Nia's going to attack Shayna, that's fine. If Sasha and Bayley had gone to help her attack Shayna, but then caught Nia, or Nia didn't want them to help or something like that, then isn't that the beat that was missing from the story? So it made no sense, but it was a decent match. Shayna wins by unannounced disqualification, apparently. Next up, we have Kevin Owens. He's got a tie. He's got one of them elastic band ties, which is brilliant, and he's obviously just wearing a shirt. Kevin Owens, man, is great, and he knocks on a door, and the door opens, and it's darkness inside. And we all know whoever knocks on the door is a challenge for Aleister Black. Anyway, it says, Aleister, you got your... Are you dressed? Are you ready to party? And we see a suit reach for the door and close it. So, Aleister Black, new gimmick change. And he comes out with Code Orange, thank goodness. Because, you know, that's the great, one of the greatest movies, so musics in WWE. So I'm glad that he's kept that theme tune. He comes out and they have the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens asks him about his eye attack that Buddy Murphy did to him. in the whole build to the Rey Mysterio feud, the eye for an eye match. And at that point, he shows the clip to Aleister. And about a minute after the clip, Aleister then just falls to the floor randomly. It's like, what the devil's going on here? And he gets up and beats the hell out of Kevin Owens and black masses him. A heel turn from Aleister Black. A little bit out of nowhere. I don't understand why it had to happen like after the set. Like if they played the video and they'd cut back to him and he was on the floor having that weird little fit thing that he did before he went into the heel turn, it would have made more sense. But look, ultimately, we're getting a fight. We're getting a heel turn from Aleister Black, which might be interesting because they're doing nothing with him anyway. And they've also got him in a feud with Kevin Owens, and they're going to deliver some great matches, I assume. So I'm down for this, man. Backstage, Bayley and Sasha are talking. They complain about Sasha being in danger when she has a rematch tonight. And Bayley vows that she'll take care of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. They won't cause an issue in this fight for her. Then we come back from break and we've got a really weird match that was wildly entertaining. The 24/7 title match, and it's Shelton Benjamin who had the title, Akira Tozawa, Cedric Alexander, and R-Truth. R-Truth gets an entrance. Again, I feel like some sort of thing with the audience could be done with here where he's getting the audience to hold up a sign of what's up or something like that. Or, I don't know, something, because it didn't really work. Again, they were cut into the crowd and you had one or two people dancing and trying to make it work, but it'll get better in time. I'm willing to give it time for it to happen. Akira Tozawa gets the win in this match with a pinfall. On R-Truth, it was good. It was good. It was a really light, entertaining match. I enjoyed it. It was fine. And Raw felt like that. Like last week was a real sort of slog to watch for 3 hours. This actually felt enjoyable. There were some interesting points in it. When we go back from commercial, Randy Orton comes out, makes his entrance, starts talking in the ring about how he's destroyed all these legends in the past and what he's going to do in the future, etc. to Drew McIntyre. And Bask in His Glory plays. Keithley challenging Randy Orton. And I'm like, this is big. I mean, in all honesty, going into this, I expected Keithley to be going against Dolph Ziggler, to be perfectly honest. And here he is against one of the top guys in the company and the biggest feuds have got at the minute. And so Keithley's music changed. It's awful. That's a Vince thing, trying to control things, I assume. We can't just send a guy from NXT and have the thing that's been working for them actually carry on. Look at Shinsuke's theme, he was changed. Look at the Viking experience that was a thing. There's no need to put a stamp on people when they come into a new place, unless it's going to be for a benefit. But instead, you've just put some dad rock into what is an iconic theme song. It makes no sense. It's like Bobby Roode going up with Glorious and just changed that. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid. But basically, he has a go at Orton and challenges him. And we get a fight later on in the night, which is great. I didn't think we'd get it, and we did, which was great later on. Backstage, Angel Garza, Zelina Vega, and the Bachelor Babe, I can't remember her name, they're all talking. It's all that guff that Zelina Vega's poisoned Montez Ford and all that sort of stuff again. Whatever. She's denying it and all that sort of stuff. After the break, we're informed that Leanne Orton is happening, which is awesome. The Street Profits get a promo in the bottom of the screen, which I really don't like, where they say, get me the smoke, get rid of it. I don't like it at all. But we actually get a match against Angel Garza versus Montez Ford, which was better. I thought it was better than last night. I thought Montez Ford looked a lot sharper tonight, which was good. A shame we're not seeing Andrade more, but hey-ho, it'd be cool in the future. Montez Ford won that match with a frog splash. Backstage, Nia Jax was talking to Shayna Baszler, saying they want 3 Alberta team in. Then they started pushing each other. Then the slap come in. I mean, basically, this match is all going to break down at Payback, and it's going to end up in a fight between them. It's fine. It's just like Shayna proper whacked the taste out of Nia Jax's mouth, and I just don't get the beats. I don't get why they're trying to do this massive story in this tiny space of time, and that's what happens when you put a pay-per-view on 1 week after SummerSlam. It's just a bit silly. Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott are backstage with Bianca Belair. They're ready to go out for their 6-man match. Liv Morgan completely reverted to her old gimmick minus a blue tongue. That didn't work, did it? Bianca Belair and the Riot Squad versus the Iconic Duo and Zelina Vega was next. The match was what it was most of the time, except one part was brilliant, and it's Zelina Vega and Bianca Belair. Both of them are brilliant wrestlers, and when they're in the ring together, I'm actually like watching it going, I really want to see more of this. I really want to see them have a singles match. And I think they have in the past, but like I want to see more. And that's great. And for Zelina Vega to be in that position where she's primarily a manager is great. I mean, it'd be great to hear what you guys think about that in the comments. Like Zelina Vega and Bianca Belair, let's go. I want to see more of it. Bianca Belair and Riot Squad get the pinfall in the end, which was good. Backstage, Cedric Alexander and Ricochet are playing arm wrestling, which I suppose is better than being on main event. And Mark Henry comes in and takes the arm wrestling table off him. Obviously, tonight we're getting Mark Henry, and it was a bit of a weird segment though. It sort of really didn't sell Cedric and Ricochet at all. Then we get Mark Henry coming back. He introduces the next segment, which is the arm wrestling contest. And Apollo Crews really quickly beats Bobby Lashley. Look, arm wrestling things in WWE are normally really daft. This was fine. It was what it was. It moves a feud on. I'm fine with it. Basically, they're going into Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley at Payback, which I think is where Bobby Lashley is going to get the win that he needs. Next up, we get Lana and Natalya in the ring, calling out Mickie James. Really quick segment here. They call her out. She comes out. She beats on Natalya, delivers a wicked kick to Lana, knocks her out, walks out. Look, it was a bit quick. It wasn't really needed, but it was better than last week where Mickie James just got like buried in the ring when Seth Rollins just stole all of the attention. Then we cut to Hurt Business. With Shane McMahon guarding the door of Underground. Oh, I'm really angry about losing it. I need my fix, man. And I need to get in Raw Underground. Weird. Okay, cool. So he lets him into the back. Then we go into Raw Underground. And I still feel like this segment isn't really working. At least we're getting more sort of storyline going into it. But Bobby Lashley's there beating the hell out of people, squashes someone, then squashes Dolph Ziggler, then squashes someone else. And it's a bit weird. Then some more people come in. I think this is when Hanson comes in and starts attacking Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley squashes him and Hurt Business stand tall at Underground. And that's about all that we saw from Underground. That was between two segments, I think. But it was... They've changed the look of it as well, because obviously they're in the different arena now, so it doesn't look like sort of that dingy club anymore. And I don't know if the new place they're working in works. I think they need to set dress it a bit to make it feel different. It was fine, but it didn't really do it. I mean, Hurt Business looked good, I suppose, but I don't like having them wrestle in the ring, and I don't like having them. They feel like two separate brands, man, and that's fine if you're not using the same people. Like, use different people, you know? Weird. Keithley versus Randy Orton was next. This was a really solid match. Keithley looked great in the ring. Entrance music's god-awful. Keithley looked really good in the ring. It was really good. There was lots of good spots. Randy was getting the upper hand towards the end with his draping DDT. And in comes Drew McIntyre, pulls him out of the ring and stops the match. We get a non-finish. Now, a lot of people might say that's killing Keithley, but actually I think to put him there in that position in the first place is actually a massive deal. And because of something that happens later, we're now getting Keithley and Randy Orton at Payback, which I feel is a big NXT debut when you consider, again, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, all were against Dolph Ziggler in sort of kickoff matches. Whereas that feels like a big match. And to be honest with you, that makes me excited for Sunday, for Payback. So that's good, in my opinion. I've lost my notes, just bear with me. Then next up we had the match between Sasha Banks and Asuka. Right. First of all, I hate lumberjack matches. I think they're pointless. I think it's a really bad way to. The storytelling was awful. Like Asuka went around the side of the ring and like knocked out with a punch or just pushing people, and these were dead. They were like referees, Natalia, Lana, and then the Iconics. It's just like, what's going on? But apart from that, the match was fairly decent. Then, but obviously Asuka got the win. I quite like the idea of Bailey pushing people, pushing the lumberjacks in Asuka's way as sort of fight through this wave of people, but it still just buried everyone else, and everyone else just looked a bit dafter in it, to be perfectly honest. Then after that, we get Mcintyre backstage. He's sulking a little bit because he's been punted, and Randy Orton comes from behind, attacks him behind, and punts him again. This leads to an angle where Drew McIntyre has a bleed on the brain. Apparently, we later on see him going into a hospital, which I was sort of hoping the Fiend would come out to mix things up a little bit. It's I don't find bleeds on the brain to be a story that we should be telling as a fake story. It feels a little bit too real to me. People that have bleeds on the brains have like severe issues for the rest of life, and it's just, to me, it's too much, and I don't think WWE should be going there. But basically, Drew McIntyre is out of the match at Payback against Randy Orton, which is the match that we all expected, and instead Keithley is going into a position which I think is going to be a great match. Then after the break, we had the main event, which was Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. A decent match. Like what they did is I didn't enjoy it. If you've seen our SummerSlam review, I really didn't rate the Dominic match as much as everyone else did. And Dominic didn't do much new in this match, but he didn't have as much to think about because you had Rey and Seth able to go in the ring. In one sense, I think that when Rey and Seth were in the ring, there was times where it moved so fast, and I was like, "Oh, that looks bad," because it shows you what great wrestling is. And in other senses, I thought actually Dominic got to do the moves, but much neater tonight. There was the crossbody off the top rope and stuff like that is all fine. But that DDT that Buddy Murphy sold, the jumping DDT, was outstanding. It looked great. Why couldn't they have done that last night? So we'll see where that goes in the future. But the match was called off because Retribution attacked Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Because Retribution are the bad guys. I expected it to happen, and I expect we'll get to see Payback with this match again, but hopefully they'll do a little bit more. Dominic will do a little bit more. Stereo 619s. He was at the same speed as his dad. His 619 seemed really slow last night, but tonight looks alright. So, I enjoyed Raw. I had a good time watching it. I'd say it's one of the better Raws I've seen for a long time. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10? 7 out? No, I do gay stars anyway. 5 out gay stars. Out of 5 stars, I'm going to give it a 3.25. I thought it was decent Raw. 3.5. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Just a few beats like the Shayna Nia thing, which just makes no sense, and Keithley's music is just stupid. Then my favourite performer. I really enjoyed the little we saw of Zelina Vega and Bianca Belair, to be perfectly honest. But I think favourite performer would have to go to Randy Orton, who was selling like hell for Keithley. So good for him. Good for him. And my favourite match was the Keithley and Randy Orton match. I know that it was a dodgy ending, but I didn't expect Keithley to get a win on Raw anyway, and that's fine. He's getting a massive match at Payback as a main roster debut. Like, cool. Good for him, And if he loses that's fine, but it's against Randy Orton, for God's sake, It'd be interesting to hear all of your thoughts, all of your star ratings, all of your star performers. Our last is going to be up very soon, so I'm going to whiz through your comments. I hope that's okay, and I'm sorry I'm a bit rushed tonight. Alex apologises for not being in the live stream. That's all good, man. I hope if you did watch Raw, you did enjoy it as well. But thank you so much for joining us now. I do appreciate it. Waves, R.I.P. Keithley music, indeed. Don left to make a solo album with Hanson. There was a sign last night that said Fire Velveteen Dream. Struggling with Velveteen at the minute. thinking about talking about Dom. If we're watching NXT, I'm half thinking about turning Sally off for the Velveteen Dream stuff, even though we're doing this. I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all, lads. Nia said she apologised to Pat Buck. Yeah, what was that all about? Yeah, I would. I love it. Yeah, she said she apologized. She made it out like she was doing some sort of sexual favour. I think was the idea, and then she was like, "What did you think I meant?" No, I just apologised. Just weird, man, weird. Same here, Alex. Compounded by them saying it might be fatal. Yeah, it's too much. Way too much. This makes no sense. How are Shayna and Nia on the same page? I don't know. At least they had a segment later where Shayna slapped Nia. Yeah, but I don't. No. Who's going to win at Payback? I'll tell you who's going to win at Payback. Shayna and Sasha and Bayley are going to win at Payback, and Shayna and Nia are going to fight in a match at the next pay-per-view. That's all that's happening, and I think it's really boring. But you're trying to tell this big story and hit all these beats in a tiny amount of time, and they're missing out beats because they're trying to tell it too quickly. Silly. He might have been knocking on Goldberg doors, so that would have been interesting. I love this segment. I'm so happy Kevin Owens and Black have a feud. Yeah, I am the same. I thought the setup of it was a bit lazy and a bit jumpy and segmented, but actually, look, we're getting Aleister Black and Kevin Owens like in the ring. At least it's giving these two wonderful wrestlers something to do, you know. More Black and Owens, poor start, but I look forward to the feud. Indeed, I'm the same. I feel bad for Tozawa, says Alex. He's a good wrestler. He did great in the Cruiserweight tournament, but now he's kind of a joke. He is, but he was kind of a joke. He's been kind of a joke for the last year, to be honest, with it, since the sort of 24/7 belt and stuff like that. And the initial feud with Drake Maverick, was it? He was having a feud with? I think so, yeah. But he's a talented guy. It's just, at least he's been entertaining. To be honest, I thought it was some nice light relief, actually, that match. I quite enjoyed it. I like how Ziggler and Ivar were supposed to have a match on Underground, but it didn't happen. I didn't like that, Alex. But and Bobby Lashley just going around destroying everyone. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get why he squashed Ziggler. But I'm fine with it. Dom will hate it. Mark Henry got an easy payday with that. Indeed, he did. Zelina is great. She's so good. Hopefully Ricochet turns heels and joins with the Hurt Business. I feel like MVP would be the perfect manager for Ricochet, says Alex. That's a wicked idea, dude. So you have him trying to recruit Cedric, and it's Ricochet that turns on him and goes for... That's brilliant. I love that booking, dude. I really like that booking, thank you. Interesting pairing. Underground should still be at the Performance Center. Yeah, Jack. Why? They can't do it because they're using the same wrestlers that they're using on. Obviously, Bobby Lashley was in 2 segments, Underground and main roster. But again, that's part of your problem. You need to have it as 2 separate identities because it breaks up the show too much in a bad way. I'm so happy for Lee that he's going against Orton. It's amazing. I can't wait to see the match. I can't. I thought they did a good job tonight and a good job of building that up. I wonder what that means for Drew after Payback. Fictional bleeds on the brain is properly bad taste. Yeah, I thought it was really tasteless. Also, a quick question. Thoughts on Thunder Rosa challenging Shida? Is Thunder Rosa good? She looks like a star. Dude, I don't know. I've not seen Thunder Rosa. She's NWA Women's World Champion, so... And AEW... Look, they brought in Ricky Starks, they brought in Eddie Kingston, and they were amazing, you know? So I think they've realised that they haven't got the people that they want to work with. COVID's not let down, so they can't get the women in and stuff like that. They've, instead of giving us either Nyla and Shida Part 2 or Penelope Ford and Shida, they've gone, right, let's give people Thunder Rosa. And I trust AEW to do that, and I'm really looking forward to the match. I think it'll be great. Shida's great. Shida's wonderful, man. Thoughts on the Mimosa match or something? Jericho and Cassidy. At first, I thought the match stipulation was a joke, but it wasn't. I think it's funny. So Jericho's playing it off because obviously he invented the Money in the Bank ladder match, which is one of the best sort of match stipulations that we have, really. Jericho's playing it as this is his new greatest idea, and it's not. It's a bit naff, but that's the point. And it's going to be, the idea of it being a mimosa match is because if you combine champagne and orange juice, you make a mimosa. That's what you do to make the cocktail. So in terms of thematically, it's all quite funny. And basically, I mean, They was going to have Mike Tyson at All Out originally, and now obviously they're going with Cassidy, which I'm fine with because I think it'll be a way more entertaining match. Basically, it looks like, to me, this is just going to be a fun match, a good ending to the feud. I assume they'll have a fun match, and at the end of the match, you're going to see Chris Jericho giving Orange Cassidy a second win against him out of a sort of 3. This is a rubber match, isn't it? So, and you're going to see him splashing around in a vat of orange juice, and you know what? Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think that'll be a fun image, and Jericho, he'll be going, "Yeah, don't get me out," and all that sort of stuff. So, Ortiz won't be able to swim. It'd be great. I think I like the idea. I know it's stupid, but it's Jericho stupid, so I'm good with it. I am going to have to go soon, guys. Apologies. 3.5 seems fair. Thank you, Jack. Jack, ask her again. I'm sure she's working hurt. I didn't do as much in this match as I did yesterday, so maybe so, man. My rating is going to be 8 out of 10. My performer of the night is Keithley. My match of the night is Dom and Ray versus Murphy and Seth. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Yeah, this Dom match was way better than last night, I thought. So really glad that you enjoyed that, mate. I also didn't like that Apollo just caught Lashley off guard, and the arm second. The rest of the match was 1 second. Yeah, but arm wrestling segments are always a bit naff, aren't they? Actually, I thought this moved quite quickly and had a bit of charisma to it. The worst thing, dude, is when they just stood there for 10 minutes like that. It's really boring. I also didn't like that. Sorry, I've just read that. Hopefully Jericho can swim. Didn't say 80 gallons. Yeah, it's stupid. It's not a serious match, but it's not intended to be. As long as the match is good beforehand and it's not played as a joke, and the whole thing at the end is Jericho swimming around in a vat of orange juice. That's AEW. That's entertainment, and that's what they do really well. But I have run out of time because my partner's just getting up now. I can hear her. You guys have been awesome. Thank you to everyone that's joined us. Thank you for coming back, Alex. I do appreciate it, man. And until next time. Oh, we do the countdown, don't we? You want to do the countdown? Sorry, it's a bit rushed, guys. We'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Take it easy, and hopefully see you on Thursday for sure. Take it easy.
This is Broken Matt Hardy. Thank you for watching the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling Podcast.